Heart beats up and down, I'm in a gambling phase. Going round and round, it's a trampoline stay. Oh, it's like I never run out of breath. And I don't care if we make a mess, it doesn't matter what's coming next. So can we just be bona fide? Girl, you got me waking up confused, lost in time. Every moment tastes like summer. Can never get enough. Summer sugar kisses left behind, and I don't wanna fall.
Hi everyone. I had a question from a viewer who wanted to know what I do to flourish in my retired life, and specifically because I'm also single. She wanted to know what kind of things or habits or practices I do to make my small retired life a meaningful life. I thought about that and I thought we could discuss that on this video today. Hi, my name is Reina and this is Small Retired Life. On my channel, we talk about all things that have to do with retirement, both the good times and the challenges, and living in your 50s and 60s and beyond. If you're new, welcome here. I've discovered that retirement is just my thing. I'm good at retirement. This is probably the happiest I've ever been. So when someone asked me, what is it that you do to make you flourish? I had to really think about it, because obviously I'm doing something right if I feel content and happy. Now, don't get me wrong, I have bad days just like everyone else, but generally I just feel so much happiness. Now, part of it is because retirement is absolute freedom. Not having a job, not having a boss, not having anxiety in my morning commute, all of those things, I just love it. I love easy, slow, simple days. It doesn't actually take a lot to make me happy. I don't need anything super fancy in order to be happy. I just need a lot of freedom. I need to kind of walk my own path, and I need a lot of independence and also a lot of time alone. But I'm going to get a bit more specific in this video and look at maybe 5, 6 habits, practices, things that absolutely contribute to what I believe is a very meaningful and a very flourishing retired life for me. One of the things I do want to mention is that this video is very much from a personal perspective. It's things that I do on a daily basis that I believe make my small retired life meaningful and allow me to flourish as a retired and a single woman. So take all of this with a grain of salt, because I'm no expert. One of the first things that is really important to me and that I actually spend a lot of time on is my environment. So it's how I curate my home and the things that are in my home. Part of that is because, I've kind of come to the conclusion that I have a little bit of OCD. Now, I'm not diagnosed with that or anything, but the signs are there. And if some of you suffer from this, you can let me know if you think this is what it is. But like, for example, my hangers all have to face a specific way. My books have to go from tallest to smallest. The way things are set out on my countertops and what is on my countertops and the place that it's in has to be exactly a certain way. Otherwise, it drives me crazy. So I know this is not ideal, and some people will say I should go have therapy or something, but you know what? This is who I am, and so I just accommodate around it. I know for me, what makes me feel good and what makes me function the best way possible is when I don't have a lot of clutter around me, when I don't have a lot of things in my closet, when I'm surrounded by things that I like looking at, that make me happy, and that I find aesthetically pleasing. Now, this is all a very subjective thing because we're all different people and we like different things. So some people may actually enjoy having a little bit of clutter and books piled up and that type of thing. And I have little stacks of books as well, but they're stacked a certain way. But I find when my home is exactly the way I want it, I feel better and I work better. I'm more creative. I feel like I can breathe. I seem to need a lot of space around me. And I'm not talking square footage here. I'm talking about visual space. So when my home is arranged, when it's decluttered, when I have things that I love looking at and using, I'm the happiest I can be. I would rather have one or two things that are beautiful and that I love than to have 10, 15 things that are mediocre. That kind of I guess, philosophy and the habits that it creates in me, like I'm a huge declutterer. I get rid of things that I'm not using. I don't like to have a ton of stuff in my closet. Now, I have more than 10 things. I do like to have access to things that I need. I, have a couple of good knives. I don't have just one knife, but I keep things to a minimum and I keep everything organized. I also need to have my home tidy. When I start seeing little dust bunnies running around or there's a dish in my sink, again, that doesn't make me feel good. I need to take care of that. So practices that keep my home clean and keep things decluttered contribute to my overall well-being and my overall happiness. The second thing that's important is I honor my slow mornings. After years of having to get up super early to go to work and the anxiety every time I was commuting to work, I didn't really feel like going to work, but I had to go to work. Well, now I have my mornings to myself. I don't schedule appointments. I don't do anything that makes me anxious in the mornings. I like to just get up, have a cup of coffee. I go downstairs. I look at the stock markets. Might not be everyone's cup of tea, but it's mine. I look at the headlines. I don't really read the news anymore because it's just too depressing. But I like to look at the economic data because I manage my own investments. I like to be in the know about what's going on in the markets. Typically, I don't schedule appointments before 10 o'clock if I don't have to. So things like my dental appointments or medical appointments, I usually make sure I schedule those after 10 o'clock in the morning. I like to get up on my own time. My body wakes up naturally at around 7:30. Seems to be a little bit earlier nowadays because it's brighter outside, but typically I just listen to my body. I don't have an alarm clock. So my slow mornings make me so happy and they set the mood for the day. I have to say there is nothing better in life than Monday morning, knowing that when I get up, I don't have to go to work. I don't have to go anywhere. Monday is just another weekend day for me. So honoring my slow mornings would be the second thing that truly makes my life happy. And I think makes me flourish because I have the time to chill out and just kind of ease into my day. I'm not tied to any schedules, and having a slow morning really reinforces that. My third practice that I think really contributes to a flourishing life is that I try to create something every day. I'm definitely a maker. I love knitting. I just recently got back into sewing. I like to create these videos and I like to research for those videos. I like to read books that help me with some of my creativity, like my design books or some great knitting books. I like to watch YouTube channels that contribute to my creativity. I have a few YouTube channels that I love watching because they either help me learn how to do more knitting or more sewing, or they're beautifully done and they have beautiful cinematography associated with them, and so that inspires me for my own channel and pushes me to try and get better with my filming. My day is not complete unless there's some creativity, and even if it means just knitting 1 or 2 rows of something, I will do that just to feel like I've been creative and I've done something creatively. I remember growing up, I was always artistic as a kid, and my parents weren't, it's not that they didn't encourage it, but they were more the kind of parents that said, you know, you should concentrate on science and math because that's where all the good jobs are. Typical immigrant parents. Whereas I was a very creative kid. I loved to draw, I loved to paint, I loved to sew when I was quite young. My mom taught me how to crochet. My grandmother was a seamstress, so I think it's in my genes actually. Because I've never really truly had a ton of time to do these things that give me so much joy, I believe that throughout my adult life, let's say, I was lacking. I was still creative, but not to the extent that I really wanted to be. And retirement has allowed this in my life. And as a result, because I'm being creative, my life is just so much more meaningful. And I feel like I'm flourishing and opening up a little bit, because that is probably a huge part of who I am. I believe the 4th thing that really contributes to my happiness is that nowadays I move with pleasure as opposed to punishment. And what I mean by that is I incorporate some kind of exercise into almost every single day. But usually that exercise is either walking or running. Twice a week I'll do weights, but not because I really want to do them, but because I believe it's important that we do strength training as we age. It's just really good for muscles and bones and all of that. But my favorite thing is to walk. Walking just gives me a little bit of an endorphin high, and so does running. And even on a day when I'm feeling not the greatest, if I get out there and I walk, especially briskly, I just feel better and I feel happy. And there's something about walking and running. I start and all of a sudden my brain just starts flowing with these positive ideas and things I want to do and I want to try. I don't know what it is that causes that, but I absolutely need it every day. It's critical for my well-being, and it's my form of meditation because I can't seem to sit still to meditate. So I'll walk and I meditate. Often I'm walking and I'm just thinking up ideas, my best video ideas, my best kind of things I want to do around the house ideas, all come when I'm walking or running. So I believe that exercise really contributes to my happy life. Number 5 is I protect my alone time with a vengeance. I'm a huge introvert, and I've had people leave me comments in the comment section saying, you don't look happy, you don't smile enough, maybe you need to get out more, like join a book club or something. I just can't do book club or team things. I don't want to do team things. I remember when I took my university degree, we were forced to do a lot of projects as a team, and I hated it. I'm a person who enjoys doing things alone because I like things done my way. Yes, I am controlling like that. And so I enjoy doing projects by myself. I enjoy doing sports that are alone sports like running or walking, or even just working out in the gym by myself if I'm going to work out. I don't like teaming. Teaming is not a thing for me. I like to be at home. I like to listen to a podcast. I like to have alone time. I do force myself on a regular basis to be social, but my alone time is what truly contributes to my happiness. This is probably the most alone time I've ever had in my life, and it's also the happiest I've ever been. And for all the people who say I don't smile enough, I know I've been accused of that before. I guess I'm just kind of a serious person. It's who I am. I don't mind the fact that I'm a little bit more on the serious side. I guess it's also what makes me a little bit more introverted. But I think that's okay. We are who we are in general. And yes, I can go out there and be with people and enjoy myself and have a great time and be social. But my alone time is my favorite time, and I protect it and I cherish it. And I think my best work and my best ideas come when I'm doing something on my own. Finally, let's talk about socializing a little bit. As I said before, I'm an introvert. I'm not exactly a social person, but I push myself to socialize. I love doing things with my sister. We went to Palm Springs together. We like to go out for lunches together. I love that time with her. I don't need a big tribe of people around me, but I have to have my little tribe of people. I love having that. It gives me that interaction that is so important to our well-being. But it's with people that I enjoy being with, who are interesting. I have a really good friend of mine. She is kind of more business oriented. She comes from the business world, and we love discussing economics and investing and capital market stuff. And whenever we get out together for lunch, I just feel so invigorated. These people just add so much to my life and so much to my day-to-day. And I hope in turn I add something to theirs as well. Those kind of friendships are so important. There's a woman I met through my channel. We walk every Sunday, and I love that. We get out there, we do my favorite activity, which is walking. Cultivating those kind of relationships is important, and it fills up your little bits of time where you want to be with someone. And I think it really contributes to overall happiness. And I feel healthier when I'm out there doing the peopling thing. Peopling, verb, not, but I'll make it a verb. I just think it really makes my life more vibrant and happier. So those are kind of the 6 things. If you have any other ones that you practice or that you think are important, maybe mention them in the comment section below. I hope you enjoyed this video, a little more casual and, you know, a little bit more about my practices and what I do, as opposed to kind of a more holistic approach as to what the world out there could be doing. But I like to share some of these things because sometimes people get good ideas from them, just like I get good ideas from other YouTubers who share their own experiences and their own stories. And I've found some amazing things to practice or to cultivate that have helped me tremendously in my day-to-day by listening to other people. I hope you have a great week, and I will see you all next week at our regular time. Bye!